Okay, let me help you with the questions in the fourth assignment of algebra. So to begin with, this is also about using the properties of equation to solve the equations. So we are just need to use the properties, and let's go through all of these questions. Unpack. So if you remember, unpack is the first step. So let's unpack 2 inside the parentheses x times x plus 1. And to unpack, we are multiplying the outside number to each number inside and then put them together. So it's going to be 2 times x is 2x. And then plus 2 times 1. 2 times 1, which is just a 2. So this is going to be 2 times x plus 2. 2x plus 2. So 2 times x plus 2 times 1. 2x plus 2. So this is to unpack. Let's do one more, because I know that some students had some difficulties with unpack. So let's do some practice with unpack. So this one, 2 times inside the parentheses x plus 2. So this outside number multiplied by each number or each item inside, and then put them together, add up. So 2 times x, that's 2x. And then plus 2 times 2. And that's going to be 4, right? So it's going to be 2x plus 4. 2x plus 4. And that's going to be this option. Right, I hope you will see, like, once you get more skillful about this, you can do this really quick. So 2 times inside the parentheses x subtract 2. X subtract 2. So again, this outside number multiplied by each item inside and then add them up. So 2 times x add 2 times negative 2. 2 times negative 2 is going to be a negative 4, right? So 2x plus negative 4. And we just need to do one more step. So this, if you plus a negative number, that's the same as subtract 4. Okay, so here we just do one more step to simplify this. This is 2x subtract 4. Subtract 4. So our answer is this one. It's this one. And next, 2 times inside parentheses x minus 1. And again, I think you are getting better and better at this, right? I think you can see this. 2 times x plus 2 times negative 1. So 2 times x plus 2 times negative 1. And this is 2x, this is negative 2, right? So it's going to be plus negative 2. And again, if you plus a negative number, it's the same as subtract 2. Subtract 2. So we have 2x subtract 2. And by the way, you'll see, like, our choice so far has always been the first one. And the reason is that you are currently looking at the teacher's side, but when you see it, the orders will be shuffled. So you cannot always choose the first answer. The order will be shuffled. Okay, so let's go on to the next. So we will do the second step, separate. Okay, by separate we mean we want all the x on one side and we want all the numbers to the other side. So we will move the numbers to the right side and we will move the x to the left side. Okay, let's do it. Let's first deal with this 5, okay? Positive 5. We want to move it to the other side, okay? We want to separate. Remember, when one item is moved to the other side, you need to change its sign, change the sign. So this was originally, it's a positive 5. When you move, it will become negative 5. So after move, this is gonna be change the sign, negative 5. So after the move, we have 3x left here, 2x plus 11, and we moved this one, it's become negative 5, negative 5. Okay, and here let's pause a second. Let's actually finish, do the calculation here. We can do 11 subtract 5, right? So let's do it right now to make it simpler. So we have 3x equals to 2x. 11 subtract 5, it's 6. So okay, we made this simpler. We made this simpler. Okay, and that's separate. And we have something else to separate this 2x. We want all the x to the left side. So we move this to the left side. When we move this, it will become negative 2x. It will change sign. This is positive 2x. When we move, it will become positive 2x. And here's a positive 3x. So what we have will be negative 2x plus positive 3x equals to, there's only a 6 left there. Okay, and negative 2x plus 3x, what is that? Well, we can think of it as the other way around, 3x subtract 2x. Positive 3x, negative 2x equals to 6, equals to 6. I can do this because I can, a plus b or b plus a, they are the same. So 3x subtract 2x, or negative 2x plus 3x, they are a plus b or b plus a, they are the same result. And 3x subtract 2x, that's going to be 1x. That's going to be 1x. Therefore, we can find out the answer. X is 1x is 6. This is 1x. It's 6. So what we did here, we did the separate. We moved this number to this side, and then we moved the x to the other side. And then we further simplify, we can find out the answer. We can find out the answer. Next one. 5x subtract 7 equals to 2x plus 11. So again, we are trying to do the separate. So we will first move this. See, this is a negative 7, and we are going to move it to the other side because we want to separate x and numbers. We want to separate x and numbers. So some students ask me, hey, mister, is it always you subtract? Well, it's not always you subtract. It's always you change the sign. You change the sign. So this one is originally it's negative 7. After we move it, it will change sign. It will become a positive 7 or plus 7. See, it's not always after move I will subtract. No, I always change the sign. So it's negative, it changed the sign to become a positive, And we have 5x, right? 5x left here equals 2x plus 11 plus 7. And again, see here, we can actually simplify this right now. So we can do it right now. This is going to be 18. So let's write down 4x equals to 2x plus 18, because this is 18. This is 18. And separate. We have one thing to separate because it's x and 18, they are still mixed together. So let's separate this 2x. It's 2x. Let's move it here. Okay. As you can see, when you move it, this will become a negative 2x. So we will have 5x negative 2x equals 18, equals 18. The 18 is left here. So 5x subtract 2x, 3x, right? 3x is 18. 3x is 18. So if we do one step forward, we will actually solve this. But you know, the question only asks you to separate. So this is how we separate. We separate x on one side and 18 on the other side. So they are separated. We are finished with this question. And you can try if we do the next step, which is going to be divide. You can try this. You can try this. If we divide to solve this, how do we do? What do we do? Okay, you can think about how can you further find out what is x. This one, 5x subtract 7 equals to 11 subtract x. I think you should get better on this, so I think you can immediately see this negative 7 when moved to the other side, right? It will change sign. Remember, always change sign, and that's gonna be plus 7, plus 7. So we will have 5x equals 11 subtract x and plus 7, plus 7. And there's something we can do it right now. It's 11 plus 7. So this we can rewrite as 11 plus 7 subtract x. See, we just moved things around. We just change the order how we add and subtract. That's okay. That's okay because according to our property, property number 5, you can see here. If you first add a and b, and then you add c, or if you first add b and c and then add a, they are the same. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we can actually operate 11 and 7, and then we deal with the negative 6, a negative x. So 11 plus 7 is 18. Therefore, 5x equals to 18 subtract x. And one step to further separate, remember we have to separate all the x to the left and all the number on the right. We have to fully separate. So we have to separate this to the other side, right? This is negative x. When you move, it will become a positive. Therefore, we'll have a positive x moved here. This is 5. This is positive 5x. So it's positive 5x equals 18. Equals 18. And you can see x plus 5x is 6x. 6x is 18. 6x is 18. So this is how we separate. In the end, you should have all the x and all the numbers fully separated. 6x equals 18. And the same as the previous question, you can try to further and solve this. You just need one step forward, okay? Just one step. Think about that. And this one, negative x equals to negative 5. And here we're going to do the divide. The 3 steps, unpack, separate, divide. We're doing the last step. Negative x equals negative 5. And how do we divide? It's always divide by multiple of x. So here, this x, negative x, you can think of this is the same as negative 1 times x. So negative x is -1 times x. And then when we divide by the multiple, which is a -1. We divide by -1. And we divide the same thing on the other side. That's because of the property of equation. We have to divide by the same thing. And on the left side, why do we divide by -1? Because it's the opposite of multiply. So we are doing the opposite. X multiplied by -1, then divide by the -1. The two numbers, they will cancel. Then you have just this x. You would just have this x. See, because -1 divided by -1, that's going to be a 1. That's going to be a 1. And this is going to be 1 times x. 1 times x equals to -5 divided by -1. And this 1 times x is just x. And what about this? -5 divided by -1. What is that? What is that? So let's use the calculator. Oh, and by the way, let's pause the video for a moment and let's subscribe. Everyone, let's pause the video and subscribe. Let's do it now. Okay, let's continue. So we need to find out -5 divided by -1, and that will be 5, positive 5, positive 5, positive 5. It's going to be positive 5. And remember, if you have two negative numbers dividing or multiplying each other, two negative numbers will give you a positive result. So this is x equals 5. Next, divide. We also divide to solve this. 0.25x equals 13. And how do we divide from here? Remember, when we divide, we always divide by the multiple of x, the multiple of x. So here, what is the multiple of x? The multiple is 0.25, right? This is a multiple, 0.25 times x. So we divide by 0.25, and we divide by the same thing. So some students, they might be stuck here. They will be, oh, 0.25, that's a decimal. Like I don't know how to divide by a decimal. So then they will probably try to divide by 4 or something, or they start multiplying. So you're kind of lost here. So remember the principle. We divide by the multiple of x. The multiple of x can be anything. It can be like in the previous question, it was a negative number, or here is a fraction, whatever number. I don't care. I just divide by the multiple. It's a 0.25, then I just divide by 0.25. And when you divide by the multiple, the result is always the same. Multiplied by 0.25, then divide by 0.25. 0.25 divided by 0.25 will always give you just 1. We just give you 1 because the same number divided by itself. Therefore, this will give you 1 times x. Because this is 1. 1 times x equals to 13 divided by 0.25. 1 times x. This is what we want. Why do we divide by the multiple of x? Because we want it just 1x, or it's just x. 1x is x. And if we do the division here, then we find out the answer. So 13 divided by 0.25. And that is 52. See, you don't need to think too much. Remember, divide by multiple of x. divide by multiply by x. You just do it. Do the division. That's the answer. That's the answer. And the beautiful part of it is, you know, whatever we change this, say we have 7x plus equals to 200. See, we just divide by 7, and you always get x. This is x equals to 200 divided by 7. So you can use it on any equation, okay? So that's how we do the divide, And lastly, this unpack. We need some more practice with unpack. So here, things tends to be more complex because outside we have an x. It's not like a 3 or 2. It's not a number, but we have an x. But still, the same thing, the same principle. The outside item multiply by each item inside, and then we add them up. So it's going to be x times 3x and plus x times -2. So this x multiplied by 3x, and then this x multiplied by -2, then we add them together. And how do we deal with this? This is x times 3 times x, or we can say x times 3, right? Because a times b times c, or a times c times b, they're still the same. And plus here -2x. And what about this? X times x, a number multiplied by itself. It's gonna be square. A number multiplied by itself, that's the square. So this is x times x, that's a square, x squared. So this is gonna be x squared times 3, or 3 times x squared. And then plus -2x, we can write it as just subtract 2x. And then we have unpacked. We have finished unpacking, and the result is 3x squared subtract 2x. So you can see the principle is still the same. It's just like when we have this, we find out this is gonna be x times x. It's a square, so 3 times x squared. Okay, and this is -2x subtract 2x. Right? It's the same thing. As we did previously. Okay, so that concludes our review for the fourth assignment. And before we leave, let's pause the video. And hit the subscribe button.